Hi Flosstube, this is Crystal, and that was super loud. Welcome to my Flosstube cross-stitch revival. It is called cross-stitch revival because there has been a revival of cross-stitch in my life, mostly thanks to the pandemic. So I think that I'm not alone in this, but of course there are people who have been cross-stitching forever and ever and never stopped. But I started cross-stitching about 25 years ago and just dabbled off and on. But this year I am back and I am obsessed. So let's talk about stitching. Oh, before we do that, I hope that everyone had a great Labor Day. That I honestly do not know if Labor Day is celebrated anywhere else. But in the U.S., I hope if you had the day off, you had a great day. If you didn't, I hope you still had a great day. We had a normal day at our house. My husband cut the grass, did some chores. I did my stuff, my normal daily routine. So it was a normal day. We didn't have homeschool that day. So we did take the day off from homeschool, which my son was happy about. But other than that, it's been a normal week. So now on to the stitching. I got a shout out from another Flosstuber named Janet Jabber. She had commented on my videos, but I did not know that Janet had her own Flosstube. So when a commenter told me that they came from her channel, I immediately went over and checked her out, and I absolutely loved her video. I can't wait. Well, actually, I already started watching more, but I can't wait to watch, to go back and watch a lot more of her videos, because that's always fun to see how people's projects come along when you get to kind of binge watch their channels. So thank you, Janet, for giving me a shout out, and I absolutely love your channel. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate everyone who commented on the giveaway. The winner will be announced at the end of the video, so if you can't wait and you want to fast forward, I do understand, but I hope that you come back and watch the rest of my video this time. It was so much fun to see where everyone was from, and different countries, different places around the world, different states, different from urban to rural, small towns, large towns, the mountains, the coast, the plains. It's just really exciting. So but one comment in particular, well, there are actually a couple comments that really caught my attention. One was someone used to live in the town next to mine, so that was exciting. And that's Greenwood, South Carolina. So when I talk about, my small town, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The other one was the commenter lived somewhere in Kentucky now, but they were originally from it's a place called Turkey Creek, and where I grew up in southern West Virginia, we call that a holler. What other people might say hollow, Holllow, we say a holler. So it's really funny because Turkey Creek is it's not a town, it's it's like the middle of nowhere, and it's really exciting because I grew up probably about 45 minutes from there. But also for a large part of my life, I was really good friends with a bunch of people from there. So I'm very familiar with that area and a lot of the people from that area. So that's exciting. There's a lot of really good people from there. And it's always exciting to, for someone who understands your culture. So because I'm not Southern, I like to joke that I'm a Southern Northerner and a Northern Southerner. I don't really fit in either way. So I'm truly like a hillbilly living in the South. So I don't know. It's always fun when someone can relate to how you grew up. So, but anyway, moving on. Who I've been watching this week on Flosstube. Oh goodness, there's so many good channels. I wish I had time to watch every video, but I was told to watch SamBrie Stitches, and I love her channel. She was showing so many beautiful fabrics on her last video. I just loved it, and she's doing interviews with Flosstubers, and that's exciting, and I can't wait to watch her interviews. So SamBrie Stitches, Janet Jabber, who else do I have to, oh, I have been binge watching Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph. I am up to about the first year of their videos, and it's really fun to binge watch. I did the same thing with Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea, because you get to see so many charts and the progress, and I would typically have never have seen those charts, or if I had seen them on, say, on Fat Quarter Shop or 1-2-3 Stitch, it's different to see them actually being stitched, or even just in their haul. Sometimes they show it really close to the camera, and you just get a better feel for what the pattern would look like. And of course that makes me want to go buy all the patterns. But it's just a lot of fun. So that is just something I enjoy doing. I feel like there are less and less TV shows that I like to watch, so I spend a lot of my time watching Flosstube, and that's my pastime. I like to watch YouTube, and I like to cross stitch, and I also like to quilt and sew, but more about that later. I also have been watching Hicks Creates. Jan Hicks is, oh, she's amazing, and her videos are like so zen. She's so relaxing and calming, and her stitching is beautiful, and she makes me think, oh yeah, I could do 1/1 on a 40 count. Yeah, because all my projects are on 14 count Ada, but Jan Hicks has me wanting to do 1/1 on a 40 count fabric, but she makes it look so easy. She's amazing. She also has a pattern that I really haven't had any interest in doing an all over design until I saw this. She has a pattern in her shop that is based on a photo that she took in Charleston, South Carolina, and it is, I believe it's of a door, but it's more than a door. It's really beautiful, and it really, you know, it's very Charleston. And my husband and I, we went to Charleston for our honeymoon, and, you know, living in South Carolina, it's just, I feel like if I'm going to invest in, you know, 90 skeins of DMC and that much time, and who knows how long it would take me to stitch, that I want it to be a piece that is timeless and has meaning. And, you know, I believe that that would be something that could hang in our house anytime, any day, any season, and it would be beautiful, and it would have a lot of meaning for us. So I'm thinking about that. It may be something that is a goal for maybe 2021, so we'll see, but it's beautiful. And she has other pieces of photography that she has turned into charts. If you want to go look at Jan Hicks's shop, I will include it in my list of links in the video. And the last YouTube channel that I want to talk about is Farrish Needleworks. I had no idea who Farrish was. In one of my cross-stitching Facebook groups that I'm a member in, she had posted that she had joined the bandwagon or whatever and had made a Flosstube. And immediately, she had a lot of comments. And the comments were like, wow, I can't believe it. I've always loved you, and I'm so glad you made a Flosstube. So I thought, okay, this is someone I need to check out. So I went to her channel, and she has, I think as of today, maybe 6 videos. And it is like a masterclass in cross-stitching. Each video, she goes into great detail about different things, different techniques, and why it's good to do things one way or another way, or, you know, it's a masterclass is what it is. And they're wonderful. And if you're like me and you're just sort of self-taught, I've never taken a class. I learned from the instructions in a tiny little kit that, as I jokingly talk about in my first video, was a petty theft of a cross-stitch kit. you know, where it just basically shows you how to make the X and how to start and stop. And that's how I learned to cross stitch. No one ever showed me. I had bought kits and I looked at the instruction in kits, and this was before, you know, things like YouTube and all that. We barely had the internet. There was no cross stitch community when I learned to cross stitch. So, you know, to be able to watch something like Farrish, someone like Farrish show techniques and things, it's a wonderful opportunity, and I highly suggest, if you have not watched her videos, to at least check one out. But honestly, just watch them all, because I think even the most seasoned person, you're going to learn something. She's wonderful. So, moving on, what I did this week is I dyed some fabric. I coffee tea dyed 3 pieces of fabric, which I will show you when I show you my whips. I used Chelsea and Priscilla of Stitching with the Housewives method from their YouTube video. They've actually done 2. They did one on coffee tea dyeing, and they did one on coffee tea dyeing and RIT dyeing. So I used the one that's just the coffee tea dye, and it went well. I enjoyed it. I was a little scared when I took my fabric out, because the ones that had some color to them, I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to look. But once I started stitching on it, I was really happy. So I'm going to start going over my whips. My first one is Hands-On Design, Ghosties and Gourds. Last time I showed this, I forgot to mention that it was Ghosties and Gourds, and it is from the series A Banner Year. I love this. This is the called for fabric. It is 16 count Kermit Ada from Picture This Plus. The other called for fabric that I think the model is stitched on is actually a linen, but I am currently scared of linen. So this is Ada. This is super fun. Last week I had talked about how I had messed this border up, and I figured out what I did wrong. I frogged it, or I ripped it all out, and I fixed it, and it even with having to rip it out, I didn't mind. It's such a fun stitch. It's just the right size, and it's really quick. It doesn't look like it's very quick because, you know, I didn't stitch very much, but that's because I've stitched a lot of different things this week in a limited amount of time that I had to stitch. So that's why I didn't get very far. But I do have my little bats on there. This is using Color and Cotton floss, which is very pretty, and I like that you get 8 yards instead of 5 yards, so there's lots of leftover, and that's really fun. I'm also stitching Country Cottage Needleworks, Cottage of the Month, November. This is my first Cottage of the Month that I'm doing. This is how far I've gotten. I'm using the called for colors, and I really, really love it. This is on what I call my Harry Potter fabric now, because if you watch my last video, this is where I had the duh moment where I thought that I had coffee tea dyed Monaco, and then I dried it and I picked it up to stitch on it, and it had magically transformed into Ada. So obviously it didn't magically transform. I had dyed the wrong fabric, but it's fine. Yeah, so this is my Harry Potter fabric. It's a 16 count, but I did measure it to see how much it shrank, and there are 17 stitches per inch, so it shrunk a little bit. Like the Boo banner, it's a smaller than what I'm used to, so it is taking me a little bit to get used to the smaller stitches. I'm using a size 28 needle on these smaller pieces, or the smaller counts, and it's funny because once I started using a 28 or even a 26 count needle, when I pick up a size 24 needle, it feels like I'm stitching with a pen. It feels so big. So I really like the 26, and I really, really like the size 28 needles. They're so much easier for me to get the stitching done. Something else I've been working on is the Tiny Modernist Advent Calendar. I'm working on day 20 or 22 days. I'm doing it as a countdown, so it's going to be 22 days until, sorry, I just looked out the window and somebody's walking by and I'm wondering why my dogs are not barking. That's weird. They usually bark at everything. So that's baby Jesus, and I tried to find a darker skin tone than what was called for, and I was having trouble with that. So that's something I need to research, is some good DMC colors for, you know, darker skin tones. So I didn't like what was called for, so I'm just making some changes to that. This is really fun. It's quick. I love these little Advent days because they're just fast, and you feel like you're getting something done, even though I have to do 24 of them. Each one feels like a small little project that gets done quickly. I do need some DMC 310 though, and I do not want to go out just for 310, so at some point when I have to go run errands, I'm going to have to pick that up to complete my Nutcracker's hat and boots. So I do have some black coffee, but the black coffee does not pop enough against this navy. I need the 310. Okay, oh, and that's on 14 count New Navy Ada. I also have been working on Clovis and Stanley. I won this in a giveaway from Stitching with the Housewives. Well, I won a free pattern from their store, and this is the one I chose. And I'm stitching this on one of the coffee tea dyed fabrics that I did. This is 14 count mist. So it was a blue-gray, a very light blue-gray, this coffee tea dye. And I started in the middle because of the way the pattern is. I haven't been starting in the middle, but the bulk of this pattern is in the middle. So I did start with the cup, and then I did the scarecrow. It looks like he has two hats, but he doesn't. That is just the chest of the crow. And his blue jeans, which I absolutely love. And I was really scared about this fabric. I thought it wasn't going to work, but once I started stitching it, the colors they just pop perfectly on it, and it's going to be a great fall piece. It's exciting. I love it. It's different than anything I would have thought that I would want in my house, but once I saw it, I just fell in love with it. It's just super cute and super sweet. Something fun. So that's Clovis and Stanley, Tip of the Seasons, from the Stitching with the Housewives Etsy shop. The next one I'm working on is it's part of my haul. It's Autumn Avenue by Little Stitch Girl. This is a new release, and the called for colors are Gentle Arts colors, which I don't have, maybe one or two. I don't have any of the called for colors. I don't even have the DMC called for colors. So I'm just using substitutions from my stash. This is how far I've gotten. For the tree, I'm using, I use Cocoa Bean for the trunk. Yeah, I use Cocoa Bean for the trunk. Whoops. And Autumn Leaves for the leaves. And the called for color is also called Autumn Leaves, but it's a Gentle Art Autumn Leaves. It has more green and yellow, but growing up in the mountains where I'm from, this is the color that the deciduous trees turn, and I love it. The oranges and the reds. If you've ever been through West Virginia in the fall, or we have something called Bridge Day, where people what's it called? They jump off the bridge, but they have, it's not hang gliding. They have like the backpacks that open up, and I'm sorry. This would be a lot easier if I had Googled this before, but I didn't think to talk about it. But people come, it's Bridge Day, it's in October, and people jump off the bridge into the gorge, and they have the parachutes, but it's not called parachutes because it's like quick release, and they glide down into the gorgeous. It's beautiful. Anyway, I love West Virginia in the fall. The one thing I miss about living in South Carolina is definitely the color of the mountains in the fall. So another one is that I've started is, this was given to me as Stitchy Kindness. And it is the Truckin' Along June. And I just started just a little bit of the border. I just wanted to do something different. I was in a mood, and everything I was doing was like fall and Christmas, and this was not fall or Christmas, so I just did a little bit on it. And so that's really fun. That someone, a new friend I've made locally, we haven't actually got to talk in person. But okay, so here's the story. This is how I met this person, kind of. A Facebook friend posted a picture, and in the background of that picture was the Fat Quarter Shop home, the Stitch Quarterly pattern they had. That was the sunflower, the very first one they did back last spring, and with the HOME and the O was the sunflower. And immediately my eyes were like, bing, that's a cross-stitch design. So I commented and I said, is that a cross-stitch piece? And I thought, maybe I'm crazy and it just is like a decoration that looks like it. And she said, yes, my sister-in-law made it. She's a wonderful stitcher. And she tagged her, so I sent her a message. And it was funny because I know, like, on her husband's side of the family, like, I know, like, all of them pretty well. But I don't know her. I don't know her husband, but I know, like, her brother-in-laws, her sister-in-laws, like, her father-in-law, her mother-in-law. Like, I know them all. And we had never met. And actually, at the time, my mom was technically her next-door neighbor. You couldn't see their houses because it was out in the country and far apart. But I was like, my mom is your next-door neighbor. And my mom actually moved, like, 1 week after that. But it's really fun. So we talk back and forth, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up and actually stitch. You know, this is like right in the heat of the quarantine. So she very kindly passed on some charts that she was done with the June and July Trucking Along, so that I could stitch them, and I so appreciate that. So that's really fun. So anyway, you never know where you're gonna find someone who cross stitches, maybe in the background of a Facebook photo. Okay, so let me see where I left off. Another piece that I dyed, I don't think I've shown it yet, was it was Blizzard Gray, or it may be called Icelandic Gray, and I coffee tea dyed it. And I dyed this for a Halloween piece that I will show you in my haul. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it because I may have another option, but that was why I coffee tea dyed this, to make it grungy looking for a Halloween piece. So let me look at my list and see what's next. I went over my whips. I don't have any finishes. I don't have anything even close to finish. Okay, I received some Stitchy Kindness, and this just blew me away. Someone a subscriber messaged me and said that she likes to pass on Stitchy Kindness. And I don't know where that term originated from, but I've heard that in several Flosstube videos, so I did adopt it. I'm sorry if that is like someone specifically coined that, but I've adopted the term Stitchy Kindness. I hope that's okay. But she said she had some Stitchy Kindness to send me. And even though she told me that, I wasn't expecting it when I opened it, because I was opening mail and I thought it was something my husband had ordered. So when I opened it's a large envelope, I was like, oh gosh, I was so excited. But she sent me this beautiful card with a note, and she sent me this June 2020 of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and this is my first cross stitch magazine. And I already have a pattern in here that I think is absolutely beautiful that I want to stitch. So that was very generous. She sent me this super cute pattern. I've got the Simply Magic by Cricklewood Crossing. And she included 2 DMC and a needle minder. And it's really funny because I had just come across this. Sorry, I was looking at a car driving by out the window. I just come across this designer through Just Keep Stitching videos. And I was like, they show something by the same designer. I was like, wow, that's really cute. And I had never heard of them before, so I was excited to see this. I think it's super cute. So I really appreciate that. And also, I like really flipped out when I saw this. She sent me a piece of 28 count Lugana mushroom, and it is 11 by 27, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I have been eyeballing this fabric online from Stitches and Things, which is exciting too. And I mean, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's the perfect color. It's the perfect feel. It's the perfect weight. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I already think that I know what I want to stitch on this. I have been wanting to stitch one of the rows, like the Bent Creek row or Lizzie Kate string. There's a few of those that I really like. So that would be perfect for that. And I'm not sure how big they are. I might even fit 2 of them on there. So I just think it would be beautiful. And if you know, basically I've looked for Bent Creek rows or Lizzie Kate strings. If you know of any other designers that make those, I don't really know what to search for because they have different names for them, but it's the long skinny pattern. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments of other designers that design those so that I know what to search for, because I really like those. I'm trying to narrow down what would be the best one to start for my house. Right now I think maybe a winter, because I don't have anything that I'm working on that is specifically just winter. So we'll see. So anyway, I would appreciate that if you have any suggestions. So thank you, Rebecca. I forgot to mention her name. Thank you, Rebecca. That was incredibly generous of you, and I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you. So moving on to haul. My first piece of haul is not stitching, but it is craft related, kind of. I showed a few weeks ago that I had worked a puzzle, and the puzzle was a Ravensburger puzzle of a dress shop, and that was super fun. So this one is the Prim quilt puzzle. I conned my husband into buying me this. I mean, I could have bought it myself, but if I'm going to pull the trigger and buy stuff, I like to buy either cross-stitching stuff or sewing stuff. So by letting him buy it from the same bank account, I felt less guilty. So I said, will you please buy me this puzzle? I really love puzzles, and they're a huge stress relief for me. So he did. He bought it for me. And honestly, it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. Oh, he purchased this from Fat Quarter Shop. And I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. I mean, see the motifs? I thought, wow, that'll be so easy to figure out. I mean, everything's pretty different. There's not a huge area that looks as like all blue or whatever. Let me tell you what, this thing is way harder than I thought it was going to be. I took it out of the box. I did all my edge pieces, and I couldn't finish the edge. I got frustrated and I put it back. So I decided that I was going to save this for when I had several days off from homeschool, you know, where I could use the table and leave it out. This was not going to be a Sunday project. This was going to be over many days that I could come and work on it and leave, and because it was much harder than I expected. But if you're going to spend the money for a puzzle, you want it to be, a challenge, or at least I do. So I'm excited about this. I love the quilt, but it's like $200 for the quilt kit. And I'm like, well, I can't buy the quilt, but I can buy the puzzle. So anyway, I thought I would share that. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink of tea. Oh, speaking of tea, because this is diet decaf tea. Today is my 1 year, what we call surgiversary. I had gastric bypass 1 year ago today. So today's a special day for me, I guess. It was definitely life-changing. I have lost 130 pounds, and I have went from a size, mostly like a size 5X shirt to an extra large, and depending on the brand. And, you know, I was in a size like 28 to 32 pants, and now I wear 18, 20. So I do still have a lot of weight to lose, but I'm very happy with my progress, and I'm happy with the improvements in my health. And I encourage anyone who's considering it, who struggles with their weight. Like, I seriously have struggled with my weight for years and years and years and years and years, and I continue to. It's not a magic fix. It's not, but it is a wonderful tool to help you get a jump start on your health. So that's my little message. You know, it's not all roses. It's very hard. But I can reflect back today and say that, you know, I'm glad I did it. So, and the cross stitching this year has helped me through my recovery. It really has. I think that's been a big part of, combined with the pandemic, with, you know, all the changes in my life, and, you know, dealing with that, and, you know, it's helped me a lot. So anyway, if you have any questions about that, you know, you can private message me on my Instagram at Crystal Rowe. You can send me a message, Cross Stitch Revival. My email is in the description box. Okay, so moving on. Haul. I have two more from Little Stitch Girl, and the first one is Frost House. Already finished Harvest House. This is the next in the series. There's a series of 4, one for each season. I'm not starting this right away, but I will start this when I get done with my fall projects, since this is, you know, Christmas. And these are really quick to stitch up, so I'm not worried about it. I just showed you the wrong one. Okay, maybe. This is Frost House. I have 2 of them. I think I showed you Frost House. Okay, yes. This is Frost House. The other one I got is Haunted Hill Road. And this is the Trick or Treat Smell My Feet. It's so cute. This is the one that I may stitch on this gray coffee tea dyed. But I did win an eBay auction for a Picture This Plus Monster Mash. But it is a linen. So when it arrives in the mail, I'm going to take a look at it. Take a look at the colors. The Monster Mash is like a green and black blend, and see if I think it, you know, these colors will show up on it, and see if I feel brave enough to start a linen project. If not, I'll save that for something else, and I'll stitch it on this. So I think it's super cute. And for Halloween, I don't want to get anything too scary, because my son is sensitive to that stuff. So I want to be kid friendly. So that is very kid friendly. It's not scary. It's cute. So the next thing I got is a free pattern. It's called Mary Sampler from Plum Street Samplers. It's free on their website. It's from 2013. I found out about this pattern from watching watching past episodes of Stitching with the Housewives. Priscilla had it, and I guess someone had asked about it. It was in the background, and she shared what it was. So if you Google it, you can come up with, it was like a 9-week series, but if you just go to week 9, you get the whole pattern. And I can show this chart because it's free. And of course, I will link this below. I will try to find the model picture so I can insert it here. I will be stitching this on, this looks dark. I mean, this looks brighter. It's actually a more true navy, like in person. This is a 14 count navy Ada that I wanted. I love nativity stuff stitched on navy, because I always think of like the dark sky with the northern star. So I just think that it it will really look pretty. And I did see on Instagram that someone else had stitched it on a darker fabric, maybe a navy, and you just have to make a couple color changes and it's fine. I think that will be a really sweet stitch for Christmas. I also bought Holiday Glow. This is a collaboration between Squareology and Hands-On Design, Kathy Haberman. I bought this from eBay and the seller included the buttons. So I am super, super excited to stitch this. I absolutely love it. It reminds me of the National Lampoon's house with all the Christmas lights. I just got a message. I hope this is still recording. I just got a message on my phone about the video size. And those are the little buttons that come with it. So I'm really excited about that. And I also got a large 25 by 36 count Cafe Mocha Country French 14 count from Fat Quarter Shop. I ordered this because I needed a 36-inch piece of fabric to fit the whole Lizzie Kate Merry Christmas by the letter. Sorry. Which looks like this. And I really wanted to start this project. I don't know if I'll get it done before Christmas, but I love this. I love this pattern. I'm thinking about some color changes, but I want to get it started, and I needed a long piece of fabric for that. And then the rest of the fabric I can use for my for some of my other new starts. And so my plans are to continue these whips that I showed you, maybe start that Lizzie Kate. And also, if you look behind me, you'll see, you know, my homeschool stuff. When we first started homeschooling a few years ago, we went and bought like the biggest whiteboard we could buy, and we never use it. It's just a place to hang maps and hang decorations and hang my son's artwork. So we will be taking that down and painting this room. It needs a refresh for sure. And I'm going to use that opportunity to hang some personalized cross stitch. So on this side is more like the school side of the room, and this is more my sewing stuff. So on the school side of the room, I would like to do some educational themed stitching. So the first thing I want to do is I want to stitch a map, and there are some really cute maps on Etsy. So I'm going to choose one of those, and eventually I would like to have the world map, US map, and South Carolina map. And of course not literal maps, just you know, I want creative liberties on the maps. So something cute, something fun. We're not going to use them for literal maps. We have plenty of real maps for that. But I think it will be a nice decoration, and some of them are like have some really fun details that are educational, but they're fun. Like where, you know, where Egypt is, it'll have pyramids. So that's really what I'm looking at. So that's just what I'm looking at for the future. And for the giveaway, thank you to everyone who entered. I'm going to insert the video here of me choosing the giveaway. I did sneak in my son's room and did it, and he woke up while I was doing it, and he was like, "What are you doing?" So you will hear him. I actually wanted him to choose the giveaway winner for me on the, you know, on the generator, but he wasn't awake yet, so that didn't work out. Anyway, so I will insert that here so you can see the winner. And FYI, I stole that from Just Keep Stitching because I thought it was really cool how they did that. So here's the giveaway winner, the word pumpkin, and let's see who wins.
What are you doing?
Mommy's doing a giveaway for my channel. I think I did it wrong. Okay. So, I got 34 commenters, but now I don't see how to get the... Oh. Okay, here we go. Do you want to do it, baby? You want to read? No? Okay. Peter McNamara. I live in Canada's capital, Ottawa. I am enjoying your videos. Please don't be so hard on yourself. Your work is lovely. Would love the pumpkin. Joanne. Peter is my husband. So thank you, Joanne. You are the winner. Okay, so thank you to everyone who entered. Congratulations to the winner. Please email me or contact me through Instagram. My information is below so that I can get your package out to you. Now this week I don't have a giveaway per se, but I do have some stitchy kindness that I want to pass on. Let me grab it here. I am finished with stitching with the Housewives Calvin and Clyde. I will not be restitching this, and I want to pass this on to someone who's interested in stitching it. So if you are interested in stitching Calvin and Clyde, please type the word Calvin in the comments, and I will use that to randomly choose someone to pass this on, and I will let you know who that person is in my next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you have a great week.